Hey guys, salut mes amis och hallå gubbar. Don Hachi over on Twitter dropped 2 tweets they do be making you think. Today I decided, since we're waiting for more updates to roll out for CS2, that we can talk about this weapon and have a little chat over it, right after Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is an automated service that lets you trade skins instantly for a fee, sign up now, and get up to $5 bonus. Simply add items from your inventory, then find skins that matches your current balance. Site offers live support 24/7. You can also top up your balance if you're missing a few dollars, and there's a lot of skins to choose from. Visit my link down below to get to Skins Monkey. If you ask me, Counter-Strike is damn near perfect in terms of TAC FPS, but even the Mona Lisa has her cracks, and there's just some stuff that haven't aged well. Early versions of Counter-Strike were packed with some very questionable features. Then, just like any sequel to a game, the devs polished and optimized the experience over time. The final result? CSGO. But even then, they didn't get rid of all the weird quirks from the past. This leads me to the M249. The existence of this weapon is very questionable, and it's arguably the least used weapon in the game. Now, you could argue the revolver gets even less action, but I'm not so sure about that. The R8 has a fair share of its revolver gang running around different community servers. I can actually get a little triggered by them sometimes. And with CS2 bringing in a new loadout system allowing for that and the deagle at the same time, I bet we're gonna see even more people sporting the revolvers. No, so really, the main issue with the M249 is really the price tag. Take a look at the meta today. We practically force every round. And even if we don't, you think we can afford 5,200 on a weapon that isn't even a sniper rifle? Hell no. So naturally, it ends up being never used. Players aren't even going to reach that amount. Legit, the only time I see this being purchased is when you have a 14-0 lead and you're loaded. But is the price tag the only problem? When you're paying top dollar, you expect good damage. Damage-wise, it matches with AKs and M4s, but it doesn't really go much more than that. It's not even a one-shot kill with helmet in most cases. You know, just like the AK. So really, they're trying to bribe you to use this weapon just because you don't need to reload. But is that really enough? And in terms of mobility, you can't even play it the same way. In fact, the element of surprise is almost diminished by the fact that you're moving in the speed of a sumo wrestler. You can't wide peek with the same impact, it's just sluggish and not effective enough. For reference, the AK-47 and M4 have speeds of 215 and 225 respectively. May not seem like a big deal, but as you can see, it is. Now, the Negev isn't known for being such a fast-moving weapon either. In fact, it's even slower, but I would argue the Negev is still a more viable option in a competitive environment. Sure, the Negev needs a moment to rev up before it kicks in that laser cannon we all know and love, and you're pretty much stuck to one position, but for its price, it's really not that bad. I've won countless forced buy rounds after losing pistol by simply snuggling myself into a corner and waiting for T's to get into my crosshair. You wouldn't believe how incredibly effective it really is on choke points. Keep in mind, the Negev had problems fitting in as well, until this 2017 update. Valve pulled the revolver and the Negev from matchmaking for some serious renovations. That's when it turned into the laser cannon, but it was still priced like a vintage wine. A month later, Valve slashed the price down from 5,700 down to 2,000. This was considered a big, ballsy move back then. And funny enough, things seemed rather cool. And Valve didn't even stop there. A year later, they dropped the price to 1,700 and made their final adjustments, which made it to what we know today. Sure, the Negev doesn't get a lot of playtime, but it's still more viable. You really can't say the same about the M249, it just isn't cutting it. This makes me wonder, can we even make this gun more viable? Is it as simple as just reducing its price? Or is it enough that we make some minor tweak like boosting its mobility or damage and showing it in the patch notes clearly so that you get the ball rolling? You could even ask yourself, if it's not pulling its weight, why keep it? Just remove it. Well, this is one of those things that I can actually disagree on. The M249 has a place in other game modes, especially ones from the community. Imagine a zombie apocalypse mode without the M249. That is so anticlimactic, but it needs to be said. When it comes to competitive play, this gun is about as effective as a fart in a hurricane. With CS2, we might see some changes or updates to the weapon that could make it more viable even in the competitive scene. But right now, it just isn't. Ironically, the most expensive weapon in the game is the least viable one. What do you guys think? Do you have any ideas for how to make it more viable? Or do you actually think it's fine as it is? Let me know down below. Peace.